All right, hello there. Hope you're doing well out there. It is Friday afternoon, Friday evening, July the 25th, 2025, and the rain has just opened up pretty good. The sky is opened up actually here in the northern area of Cherokee County, Georgia, and it is raining really good out there. So I did not see that on the forecast. I haven't really looked at the weather that much today, but yeah, it's raining pretty good. So the grass is getting some good moisture there, which is good. So we'll take it. But hope you're doing well out there, wherever you are, whether you're catching this live or on replay. We got some Arrow Video announcements today. So Arrow Video announced their October 2025 titles. So I want to come on here and share reactions with you, kind of what do I think about these titles? What do you think about these titles? Is that monthly live stream that I like to come on here and just share reactions with the community. I like to do this for the Criterion Collection whenever they do their announcements around the 15th of each month. It's usually on the 15th. And in some cases, it may go to the 16th or 17th or what have you. But generally, around the 15th of each month, we hear about Criterion's upcoming content for 3 months from now. Arrow Video typically does their monthly announcements of future titles the last Friday of the month. And as it stands, the 25th, today is the last Friday of the month of July, which is crazy to think that we are already at the end of July almost. So we're going to talk about these Arrow Video titles tonight. Looking forward to hearing what you think about these titles. This is an October slate. So, of course, predictably, there are a number of horror and thriller type titles in this upcoming slate. So, I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about it. So, without any further ado, on the other side of this, we'll get into it. I want to hear what you think about Arrow Video's October 2025 lineup. Let's talk about it. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. We are live today to react to Arrow Video's October 2025 lineup. We've got 7 new titles that have just been announced. They typically do it around 10 a.m. Eastern time, in this case, Eastern Daylight Time, since we're on daylight savings time still at most of the United States. But yeah, 10 a.m. EDT. And I think that's 3 p.m. across the pond or what have you. But yeah, so they do the announcements, and I typically watch the announcements come across my Twitter or X feed. So we've got 7 new titles just announced this morning. It's perfect timing with the Halloween season coming up, and Arrow is definitely leaning hard into that horror and thriller territory this year, as they typically do with their October slate. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Most of these titles are titles that are not necessarily speaking to me. I'm not the biggest horror fan in the world. I do like certain horror and thriller type films. I'm more of a thriller fan than I am a horror fan. But I do like some horror movies. But so this slate isn't going to be one of those lineups where I personally love all and have a lot of nostalgia for these titles, but I definitely want to hear what you all think of these titles, because I know that this particular slate of titles, even though many of them may not speak to me, I know that a lot of you are very excited about this lineup of titles. So I want to hear your excitement. And maybe even hearing that excitement, I might learn a little bit, more about these titles and lean into them even more in my film journey. So we are going to get into them. But before we get into these announcements, I want to hear from you all and just hear what you're thinking, what you're saying, how you're feeling. You should be feeling good. It's Friday. It's Friday evening. So we have Adrian James from across the pond. Hello, James. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well, Adrian. Gangshi, how are you doing? We have Wooly Productions. I don't believe I have seen you out here before. Wooly Productions, welcome. So, hi, James. Just wanted to ask, Kino sale is ending tonight. Did you get any good picks? I did not, Wooly. I did not participate in this Kino sale. I feel like right now I'm pretty Kino caught up. I'm pretty caught up on my Kino titles at this point. I've got, of course, my Kino titles are over here, as you can see, and I adore these titles. Like, I've got Play Misty for Me, which is my favorite Clint Eastwood film, absolute favorite. Love that film. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. I love a nice Gene Hackman film. This film is a winner for me because it not only does it star the late great Gene Hackman, but it's also a train movie. So hey, can't beat that combination. Gene Hackman and Ann Archer in Narrow Margin, and of course Al Pacino Serpico. So yeah, I have a pretty decent little Kino collection here. Not the biggest Kino collection, but as far as participating in this current sale, I did not. I pretty much have the titles that I want at this point, but will definitely keep my eye open for future Kino sales. Gerald says hello. Hello, Gerald. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody is doing well out there. And but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into these titles that have been announced. I'm gonna go into my Twitter feed, but before I go to my Twitter feed, I do want to talk about Arrow Video's output this year. They have so far they put out some pretty good titles. I am finding that for the more recent months, in these last few months, I haven't been gung ho for most of the titles that have been announced. But there's always or usually something in each slate that I can look at and say, I'm interested in that one. I'm interested in that one. And I do have a fair number of titles that I picked up this year, of course. Very excited about the Dollars trilogy that you see here. So I had the first two installments in that. And of course, coming most of our ways for those of us who have pre-ordered this title, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Arrow 4K is coming on August the 11th. So I cannot wait to get that 4K edition from Arrow Video. That is coming very soon. So I'm very, very excited about that. And let me know in the comments if you all are getting The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So, but yeah, so also I've enjoyed cruising this year. I believe Mute Witness came out last year, but I picked it up and I really enjoyed that. A Simple Plan, really good film here. Really good film starring Bill Paxton, Billy Bob Thornton, Bridget Fonda. Really good movie. I even enjoyed Alice, Sweet Alice. This is a good one as well. So yeah, so just enjoying. I have the Inglorious Bastards edition here. I have not had a chance to like pop it in the player and watch it yet. So that one is still on the docket to watch, as well as this Western 10 star. In fact, I may just watch this tonight. 10 stars. So yeah, Arrow Video has been putting out some pretty good titles so far this year, and I have been enjoying them. I'm looking forward to that The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 4K coming in just a few weeks, hopefully. No more delays. Hopefully it will be on the way. All right. So with that out of the way, let's not waste any more time. Let's not dilly-dally any further. Still trying to carry a little British accent from my time across the pond. So I'm going to share my screen here. And you all should be seeing my X feed or my Twitter feed as we speak. But yeah, so I get my updates on Arrow's announcements on right at around 10 o'clock in the morning on that Friday. It says time for our October new title reveals. That's the tweet they put out before they begin to tweet each title individually. So they said time for our October new title reveals. And then the very first one that they bring up here is this, from what I understand, this Asian zombie movie called The Sadness that's going to be coming out in the UK on this link. It's going to be coming out in the UK and I believe wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a UK only title, actually. Excuse me. So it's coming out on 4K limited edition. Let's go ahead and click this link here and let's take a look at the Sadness limited edition 4K Ultra HD. It's coming out on October the 20th. So October 20th, 2025, coming out on 4K Ultra HD. You do see the reversible art or the art option. You can go with the traditional art here or the new art that looks pretty cool, actually. But yeah, wow, look at that. This is a crazy looking zombie movie. I wonder how this compares to like a Train to Busan. For those of you who've seen this film, what do y'all think about this film? Of course, you see the options. Typically, what I do is I go with the original theatrical art on the actual disc case. And then, of course, I have the new art on the box, but or the slipcover. But this is dragging extreme cinema screaming into the post-pandemic age. Rob Jabaz's controversial and incredibly gory The Sadness burst onto the genre scene at the tail end of the COVID epidemic. This is a new film winning the New Flesh Award for Best First Feature at the Fantasia International Film Festival. When a deadly virus spontaneously mutates in Taiwan, it suddenly gives rise to a fast-acting, mind-altering plague. The streets erupt into violence and depravity as those infected are driven to enact the most sadistic and ghastly acts they can think of. Amidst the carnage, a young couple is pushed to the limits of sanity as they try and reunite across town amidst the chaos. The age of civility and order is no more. There is only the sadness. So it is coming out October the 20th on 4K, available for pre-order at £25, an RRP of £29.99. So this is a 4K limited edition that has a 4K presented in high dynamic range. So that's important to note that it is presented in HDR, I presume HDR10, not Dolby Vision. So it's 4K with HDR. You're getting a 5.1 surround audio. You're getting a brand new audio commentary with the writer-director Robert Jabaz and cinematographer Bai Jili. And you're getting two archival audio commentaries as well. You're getting some behind the scenes featurettes, a color grading comparison. That should be pretty interesting. That's a type of extra that pops out at me because I love getting supplements that help you better understand the filmmaking process. So a good example of that is I did a recent review on my channel, actually the most recent review on my channel for this title here that just came out from Criterion, if I can pull it out, Carnal Knowledge here. They have a really nice uh, extra that is a new interview with film editing historian Bobby Osteen. So she talks about how this film was edited. Now I'll just set it right here. But yeah. So talking about the editing process, or in this case, a color grading process. I I'm not. That is an area that I'm not very familiar with. So this is the type of thing, you get that film school in a box type of a feel, and so I would definitely be interested in that if I were getting this release. Getting some short films, North American premiere, reversible sleeve, and a collector's booklet. So looks like a pretty nice special edition. I don't think this is a chunky box. I don't think this is a chunky box, but it is getting that 4K limited edition treatment in terms of the nice special features, some a brand new audio commentary, some new features, and some nice archival features. This looks like a pretty interesting film. This is a film that at first I was not really interested in. It is coming out in the UK, so I would have to import it. Have to go through like Grindhouse or someone like that. But this is one that the more I look at it, the more I'm kind of thinking about it. But we shall see. I definitely want to hear in the comments what y'all think about The Sadness. So let us go back to the Twitter feed here, and we're going to look at the next title here that I know a lot of people are excited about, and that is The Return of the Living Dead. This is coming out in the UK as well. There's a link for HMV. You can order it from Arrow here at this link. And there, I see the HMV tweets as well. And so let's go ahead and let's click the HMV tweets. link or Zavi. Let's click the Zavi link. Let's show Zavi some love. So it's the Return of the Living Dead limited edition Blu-ray. So, oh, I'm sorry, that's the Blu-ray. I think it's available on 4K. Let's click the 4K link here. Sorry. Return of the Living Dead limited edition 4K Ultra HD. I did forget to mention that there are 7 titles being released this month. I mentioned that, but I didn't mention the fact that 6 of those 7 titles are coming out on 4K Ultra HD with 1 Blu-ray edition. So the Return of the Living Dead limited edition 4K Ultra HD available for pre-order at £30. It is coming out October the 13th. And it says they're back from the grave and ready to party. Taking the genre that George A. Romero invented and turning it on its severed head, Alien screenwriter Dan O'Bannon made his directorial debut with one of the most beloved horror comedies of the 1980s, the instant zombie classic, The Return of the Living Dead. So this is more of a light-hearted, like comedic, horror type film. So Freddie Tom Matthews is on his first day of work at the UNITA Medical Supply Warehouse when his co-worker, Frank James Karen, decides to show off the airtight canisters filled with human remains in the basement, lost by the military long ago. One of the canisters unexpectedly leaks a poison gas and sets into motion a full-scale uprising of the undead, against which warehouse boss Bert, a mortician Ernie, and Freddy's punker friends may be the last defense if the zombies don't eat their brains first. So it's a horror comedy. For those of you who are familiar with this, you're going to get a very nice edition of this film coming out October 13th. It is a 4K with Dolby Vision. You're getting a reversible sleeve with the original and newly commissioned artwork. So you can see here, this is the newly commissioned artwork, which looks pretty interesting there. So the new on the left, and then the original on the right there. So that is very interesting, and a double-sided fold-out poster featuring the new and original art. So that's cool. But you're getting that 4K with Dolby Vision 5.1 surround audio. You're getting audio commentary. So a couple of, I guess, 3 archival audio, 4, excuse me, audio commentary, audio commentary, audio commentary, audio commentary. So you're getting multiple audio commentaries, folks. This is the type of film, it's horror comedy, so it's a fun type of a film for those of you who are fans of this movie. And you're going to get your choice of multiple commentaries from the director, the production designer, several of the actors, makeup effects artists, and fans and filmmakers. So getting a lot of different perspectives. So you'll really have a lot of fun with that. You get an archival interview with author John Russo, and an archive featurette on the special effects. So yeah, a lot of archival features here. I don't think there's anything that's new other than the new art that you get on the poster and on the sleeve. So, but yeah, for those of you who are fans of this film, you're getting another disc, which is a limited edition exclusive Blu-ray, which has some additional features, I believe, a conversation with Dan O'Bannon, the final interview, deleted scenes. So this looks to be the definitive edition of this film, The Return of the Living Dead, coming out October the 13th, 2025. So let me know in the comments section what your excitement level is of this film. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing and come back out here and capture more of what you all are thinking and how you all are feeling on Friday. I mean, it's been a very busy week for me working, and I am so happy that the weekend is here, even though I'll still be doing some work over the weekend, but still, it's the weekend. So, hello from Scotland. Hello there, Stevie. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Howdy, how's it going? It's going well, Dan. Hope you're doing well as well. And Dan says he's looking forward to checking out The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Got the first 2 on pre-order and watched them with your grandmother and grandfather. Wonderful. That is really, really cool. I wonder what they thought of it. Understandable. I got a couple of Clint Eastwoods myself. Looking forward to 2 Mules for Sister Sarah. That's interesting. Now, that is one I don't have that I might want to get. So, Is that sale still going on? I may have to check that out. See, Dan, fun movies. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I pre-ordered The Mouth of Madness from Rare Waves. They are doing 10% off. Okay. I have done a sizable Criterion sale order. Yeah, yeah. How's the Criterion sale? How's the Barnes and Noble sale treating you all? Is it treating you all well? I Last night I picked up what's probably the last title for me for this sale. I picked up Mudbound, the film from Dee Rees, and I watched it. And wow, I mean, I've heard a lot of people talking about that film, Mudbound. It's a fairly recent film. It's a Netflix film. It came out, I think, a couple of years ago. It's from director Dee Rees, who has another film in the collection called Pariah, which I do not have. But this film, Mudbound, is so it's awesome. I mean, it looks really good. It's a period piece. It takes place during World War II, and it's dealing with, families in rural Mississippi, and the race relations at that time, which, as you can imagine, were not good. And it's dealing with the differing families and a couple of families sending their sons off to war, and those sons coming back from war and having had the experiences fighting in the war, and then coming back to a racist, segregated Mississippi in the backward ways of that time. It was a very well told story that I definitely appreciated and enjoyed, and it's an absolutely stunningly beautiful looking film to watch. I mean, it was shot beautifully and looks great on that Blu-ray. So I definitely, for those of you looking for maybe a last minute recommendation for the Criterion sale, definitely consider Mudbound. It's a good one. Um, James, did you try Greg's while you was in the UK? No, I didn't have a chance to stop over there. I did not have a chance to do that, but maybe the next time, perhaps the next time. Greg's, try a steak bake. Oh, okay. I did not. I haven't seen The Sadness. I have not either. I have not either. Always a pleasure to see you. Pleasure to see you out there in the comments as well, Movie Addict. The Sadness looks interesting. I might have to check it out. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I was asking you all out there. I mean, I love Train to Busan. Does this have a similar vibe to that? It doesn't have to be exactly like it, but is it sort of similar? Is it of that same like quality? I can appreciate a good zombie movie. This was released in the US via Shudder in 2024. Okay. I haven't seen The Sadness, but as I live in Taiwan, I'd be interested in checking it out. Looks very over the top to me. Okay. The only thing I know about Return of the Living Dead is that the director co-wrote Alien. Yes, yes, I did see that. Dan O'Bannon, I think his name is. He co-wrote Alien, and I saw a number of credits of his on IMDb that I thought was interesting. I'm well, thank you. Good to hear that, Steve. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I hurt myself during this Criterion sale, James. Utilize gift cards. Oh well. There's always the opportunity to recover, Archie. Always the opportunity to recover, and hopefully you can recover watching some of those great movies that you picked up. See, Wooly Productions, yeah, Dan O'Bannon wrote the screenplay for Alien. He's in John Carpenter's Dark Star. Okay, yeah, so that's the great thing about watching these movies is you get these connecting points to, oh, I never heard of this movie. I never even heard of this director, but then you read about him and you're like, oh, he wrote this film that I'm familiar with, or he worked with this director that I'm familiar with, or whatever. You just make connections to films and experiences that you are familiar with, and it just sort of pulls you in, and as a result, it sort of broadens your horizons or broadens my horizons. So that's good stuff. What's up, Mr. Dell? How are you doing, sir? Enjoyed the portion of the live stream I was able to catch for your celebration last night. Hope you're doing well out there. Happy Friday to Mr. Dell from Dell on Movies. So definitely check out his channel. Today's last day for Kino also got way too much from the BNN sale. Midnight. I need to watch that. I will probably watch Midnight that has Claudette Colbert. I'll probably watch that this weekend. In fact, you just gave me my weekend watch. I need to watch that, and I need to watch 10 Star. So I'm gonna make that's my weekend watch list, folks. 10 Star, from Arrow, and I'm gonna watch Midnight Criterion. So thank y'all. Sorcerer, brilliant. Chef's kiss. If you had to nail me down and say what's the best release from Criterion this year so far, Sorcerer 4K. Boom, done. What else you want to know? I mean, best release of the year so far from Criterion that I've seen. Glenn Gould. I had that in my hand yesterday when I was picking up Mudbound, but I didn't pick it up. I'm gonna do some more research on it and decide, do I want to make that a last minute pickup or do I want to wait for November on that one? Any fun Criterion titles to suggest before it ends? Definitely Mudbound for sure. That's a good one. But as far as fun ones, I would say Shaft 4K, Thelma and Louise 4K. Those are two you cannot go wrong with those. Fast Times at Ridgemont High Blu-ray. Although some might say that that could get a 4K, but I wouldn't worry too much about will it get a 4K or not. If it's a title you're interested in, just get it, because you just never know. Let's see. I was hoping Arrow would release Salem's Lot in 4K. Maybe someday. Perhaps someday. I had the sadness and love it, says Mark. The production values and acting are through the roof. The sexual nature of it can be a little difficult at times. Okay. That's a good data point to know. But it's nice to know that you love it, Mark. So yeah, that's the perspective that I needed to know in terms of, do y'all like that film or not? All right, so let's go back here and let us go back into my Twitter feed. So we talked about Return of the Living Dead, and now we're going to go to the next title here. So Return of the Living Dead so far and Sadness. So a couple of horror titles, little horror comedy. This next one here, this is one of the two titles that I'm most interested in this month. This is a title that definitely intrigues me. It's called Miss 45. It's like a revenge type of a thriller film, and I'm definitely interested in it. It's coming out in the UK and the US on limited edition 4K, and I'm gonna click this link right here. Well, let's see. Do I have? Yeah, it's all Arrow. So let me just click this link right here. So yeah, Miss 45 limited edition. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the Blu-ray. That's the Blu-ray. Let me get out of that. Let me go to 4K. 4K. All right. Limited edition 4K Ultra HD. So available for a pre-order of £30, but this is available in the US as well. But check out this art. Very interesting looking art here on this edition. See this actress who plays the main character. So you have this reversible art going on. So that is very, very interesting. I believe this is the original theatrical art. And then this here is the newly commissioned art, I believe. So this is coming out October the 27th. And it says, "It will never happen again." From Abel Ferrara, director of The Driller Killer and King of New York, comes a terrifying revenge thriller in the tradition of Death Wish and Taxi Driver. Miss 45, aka Angel of Vengeance, will blow you away. New York, 1980. Raped at gunpoint on her way home from work, mute seamstress Thana returns to the safety of her apartment only to be assaulted again by a burglar, but this time she fights back. Bludgeoning her assailant with an iron, she takes his gun and begins to dispose of the body piece by piece. So this is, without reading any further, this is a revenge thriller type film, similar to like Death Wish, has some Taxi Driver vibe. So I'm in. I'm definitely interested in this. It's a devastating depiction of violence, of S violence and female rage, with a stunning central performance from Zoe Lund, credited as Zoe Tamaralis in this film. It arrives on 4K Ultra HD in a brand new restoration that gives an extraordinary glimpse into the grimy glamour of New York in the 1980s with all its controversial power intact. That's something that really drives me to this particular release here. This is coming out on 4K. It's a new restoration. I love films that are based in New York that show life in New York in the 70s, period, but also here in the early 80s. This is a 1981 film, so it's going to get that New York vibe and that nice restoration. So really getting the sort of the essence and the grime of that environment that she is in. Um, so I'm just looking forward to checking it out. But it's a brand new 4K restoration by Arrow Films from the original camera negative. Sounds great. It's going to be in Dolby Vision HDR. Getting a brand new audio commentary, who by the author of this critical study in cultographies, Miss 45. A new featurette, Voice of Violence, new feature Where Dreams Go. And then you get some archival interviews. And then you get Zoe XO, a 2004 short film directed by Paul Rockman. Zoe Rising, another film by Paul Rockman, which I presume is about the actress. Um, Reversible sleeves, 60-page perfect bound book, and a double-sided poster. So this is coming out October the 27th, and this is one of the titles, again, that I'm definitely interested in checking out for the month of October. It's called Miss 45 Limited Edition 4K Ultra HD. And this is a title that definitely intrigues me when I think about it. And, I'm not familiar with Abel Ferrara, so I just went on IMDb and checked out, his filmography to learn a little bit more about what films has he done, what has he been involved in. And as you can see, he directed Bad Lieutenant that stars Harvey Keitel, as well as King of New York. And actress Zoe Lung actually co-wrote the script for Bad Lieutenant, and she worked on multiple projects before unfortunately dying in Paris at the age of 37 from drug-related heart failure in 1999. So, about 18 years after she did this film, in Miss 45, she has some struggles with addiction apparently, and succumbed to drug-related heart failure in 1999 at a very young age. So, an example of gone too soon. But you see here, Abel Ferrara, the director of Miss 45, also did Bad Lieutenant, did King of New York. You see, Abel Ferrara actually appears in this film, Miss 45, with Zoe Lund here at the top right. So yeah, just a little bit more about this film and the director who did it, as well as the tragic story of the actress who starred in this movie. So that is Miss 45. So that is definitely one of the ones that I am interested in checking out this month. So that's Miss 45, coming out on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray in the US and the UK. So definitely looking forward to checking that out. And this looks visually, I'm wondering if this is one of those chunky boxes. It's hard to tell. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But in any event, some nice content in that release, and I'm very intrigued by the film. Now, this is another film that I know a lot of people are really excited about. It's coming out in the US, Canada, and the UK. It is Trick or Treat. It's going to get a 4K limited edition steelbook, as well. See it, 4K limited edition steelbook. Yeah, it's a steelbook that is coming out, because this release, Trick or Treat. Hold on. Let's look at this diabolic link here. Okay, yeah, so this is a steelbook release that's coming out, and it's coming out on, it says coming soon here. Well, let's close that. Let's see when it is coming out. It's it's coming out October 27th, 2025 in this limited edition 4K steelbook. So check that out. You see both sides of the steelbook, the front and the back. Pretty interesting art there. And you see what all comes with it there. So it's coming out October 27th. And this is an anthology film. It communes with the spirits of classic horror portmanteaus like Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt, weaving together four chilling tales, all taking place during the same fateful Halloween night. Following the secretive and disturbing life of a high school principal who leads a double life as a ruthless serial killer. Boy, that's one heck of a principle. The journey of a young girl, Anna Paquin of the X-Men, looking for love, who finds something infinitely more macabre. A group of teenagers playing a prank with disastrous consequences. And an old man, Brian Cox, Succession, confronted by Sam, a mischievous trick-or-treater with a terrifying secret. With this interwoven tales of terror and unforgettable characters, Trick or Treat has submitted itself as a Halloween essential, paying loving homage to the golden age of horror comics and 80s character features with a slick modern style sure to send shivers down the spine of any fright fiend. So interesting. I mean, I've never seen Trick or Treat. So definitely want to hear in the comments what your excitement level is of this title. Are you looking forward to this? Do you have, I think this was already been released by Arrow in like slip cover or one of those box sets, but this is a steelbook release. Is that correct? So definitely comment in the comment section what you know about this film. Is it a thumbs up, thumbs down? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Well, how do you feel about it? And are you planning on picking up the steelbook? But this is a 4K presentation of the film with Dolby Vision. You're getting the DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 surround and 2.0 stereo audio. You're getting the audio commentaries, getting a ton of special features, which I believe appear to be mostly, if not all, archival. But as you can see here, this is not a short paragraph. This is this is a paragraph with a multitude of features for this title. So if you love this film Trick or Treat, you are definitely in for a treat. So this is coming out October 27th in an exclusive limited edition steelbook available to order on Zavi, available to order on a multitude of options, whether it's Zavi, um, unobstructed view for Canadian buyers, Diabolic DVD. It's available, I believe, directly from Arrow, I believe, as well. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Miss 45. Excuse me. So yeah, a number of different buying options for Trick or Treat. So definitely avail yourself of that if you are interested in this title. All right, moving along to the next title here is a title also available in the UK, US, and Canada. It is Three Extremes limited edition Blu-ray. This is the title of the seven that is not available on 4K as of yet. It's coming out on Blu-ray, and it is available. It will be available in the UK, Canada, and the United States. Canada via this unobstructed view. So let's check out unobstructed view and give them a little bit of love. So this is the unobstructed view site. Pre-order of 33.74 Canadian dollars. It is Three Extremes. And this is coming out on Blu-ray. It's coming out October the 21st, and it runs at just over 2 hours. So this is a trio of ghostly tales of terror, each from a different country, that form an anthology. Is initiated by acclaimed Hong Kong producer and director Peter Ho Sun Chan. The film would prove highly influential in its innovative approach to Pan-Asian horror. So, the unforgettable first story, Dumplings, is directed by celebrated filmmaker Fruit Chan, and it sees an aging actor discover that the dumplings she's been eating for their miraculous rejuvenating benefits contain an unsavory secret ingredient. So that's interesting. So it's basically an anthology. You're getting three stories of horror thriller type stories here. Brand new 2K restorations of both films by Arrow Films. You're getting a high definition Blu-ray presentation of both films, 5.1 DTS HD master audio, reversible sleeves, illustrated collector's booklet. So that's great, double-sided poster. And then you get disc one, it has three, and then disc two has three extremes. So getting the commentary love, getting brand new interviews here. Actually, brand new interviews on both of these discs, multiple brand new interviews. a newly edited interview with Fruit Chan, couple of newly edited interviews. So I guess previous interviews that have been sort of newly edited. So that's cool. So you're getting a couple of new features, some archival features. You're getting this nice anthology together. It's a trio of ghostly tales in this set called Three and Three Extremes. So yeah, this is coming out October 21st, 2025. It's coming out on Blu-ray from Arrow Video. And this is the unobstructed view listing available for those of you in Canada. You may want to avail yourself of that listing. So what do you think about Three and Three Extremes? What are your thoughts? So let me come out here again before I get into Spawn and capture some more of your comments to see what you're thinking. What are you thinking? Let's see here. I read about it. Sounds like a female version of Death Wish. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me, Miss 45. And that's why, I mean, I'm definitely interested in checking it out. It's based in New York. It's from 1981. It's a new 4K restoration. I love seeing those time capsules of New York City from the 70s, the 80s, and even, further back. So it looks like a nice revenge thriller type film. So I'm all for it. I also want Miss 45 says, Dell, I've been meaning to see it for years. Yeah, I had never heard of it. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. So I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat, Happy Sanjo. I do appreciate that. Says, I love this channel. Thanks so much for the content. Thank you. Thank you so much. You all make it worth it. So I definitely appreciate you and thank you for the kind words. I really enjoy Miss 45. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know that that there's a fan out there of this film. Miss 45 looks interesting to Archie, and I'm a big fan of Abel Ferrara's visuals. I may check it out. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it and learning more about this filmmaker. I've never seen Bad Lieutenant or King of New York. So this might be my entry point into his filmography. So I'm looking forward to that. Bad Lieutenant is so good. So good. Well, I'm have to check that out. Quarseek says it is Miss 45 a hard case box. Okay, great. Nice chunky box set. I'm in. I'm in. Heading to a double feature of War of the Worlds and the Quartermass Experiment. So sadly, I need to head out. Have a great night and rest of the stream, James. Thank you, sir, and hope you enjoy that double feature. That sounds like a lot of fun. Arrow boxes are usually 30 to 35 pounds, says Stevie. Okay, that's good to know. Trick or Treat is pretty good. Not sure I'll get it. Okay. See, Trick or Treat 4K transfer is beautiful. Yeah. So some of you already have it on a previous release from Arrow, I guess on slipcover. So if you don't have that release, you now have the opportunity to get it on this interesting looking steelbook. Takashi can be good. He directed The Audition. Okay. Takeshi Miike. Okay. In the Mouth of Madness 4K was the only one I pre-ordered, says Steve. Okay. Miss 45 and Return of the Living Dead are my favorites. I haven't heard much about Mouth of Madness. Okay. And Dell says, definitely getting Three Extremes, but keeping my DVD since it includes a full-length feature version of Dumplings. Okay. Yeah. And that's an example of, you wish that when they did these upgrades that they would port over all the previous features of previous releases, but that's not always the case. So you sort of feel like you got to hold on to the old versions because, oh, this new 4K looks great, but it doesn't have that commentary that I really enjoyed on that old DVD. So I got to hold on to the old DVD or whatever. So but yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed that movie, Del. Trick or Treat was entertaining. I saw it for the first time last year, just not good enough to buy, in my opinion. Yeah, it's not really calling me either, but yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all commenting and sharing thoughts. It really helps me because when I saw this slate, I was thinking, I'm really gonna have to rely on what y'all think because I am not incredibly familiar with a lot of those films. And this is another one that I've heard of, but I'm not incredibly familiar with this film. This is Spawn. This is also coming out in the UK, US, and Canada. It is coming out on a 4K limited edition, and it's available from Arrow, Unobstructed View, Diabolic. So a lot of different options to purchase this title. Let's go ahead and click the Diabolic DVD. We haven't given Diabolic any love. Let's give them some love. Oh, well, we were trying to give them love, but the page doesn't seem to exist yet. So I guess that link isn't good yet. Well, so let's go here. We tried Diabolic. I clicked the link, but the page wasn't any good. All right, so now we're on the Arrow site. Spawn Limited Edition 4K Ultra HD, available for £25. And this is definitely not a chunky box based on what this looks like. It is, which is fine. But it's your standard, like standard slip cover presentation here, but perfectly fine. It still has some awesome content usually in those limited editions, even if it's not a chunky box set. But check out this cover. Wow. I think fans of this film look at this and think that is a tight looking cover there. So I think this is the new art. I think this is the traditional original art. So you get your choice, which I always love to get that choice there. It's coming out October the 6th. This is probably the first release of the month. This Spawn is coming out on 4K Ultra HD. It says, "Born in darkness, sworn to justice. From the producers of Blade and The Crow comes Spawn, a dark, action-packed supernatural thriller that redefined the comic book movie with cutting-edge visual effects and a haunting origin story of vengeance, damnation, and redemption. Al Simmons, Michael Jai White, is a top-tier Black Ops agent, ruthlessly efficient and fiercely loyal until he's double-crossed and executed by his commanding officer, Jason Wynn, Martin Sheen. Oh boy. But Simmons is resurrected by the devil, Malebolgia, and becomes Spawn, a demonic anti-hero with terrifying powers. Caught between Earth and the underworld, Spawn is determined to exact bloody revenge on Wynn and must choose to serve his new infernal masters or fight for the salvation of his immortal soul." Okay. I'm just reading the description here. Yeah, this is interesting. I want to know how many of you are fans of this film. I know there's a big following of this film. I've never seen it before. I've heard of it. So I'm just now getting familiar with what this film is about. It's 4K restorations of both the director's cut and theatrical cut of the film from the original camera negatives by Arrow Films. So that is great. You're getting disc one, which has the director's cut, and then disc two has the theatrical cut. Both are, yeah, both are on 4K in Dolby Vision. Both have the 5.1 master audio, DTS master audio. So that's great. You're getting Dolby Vision, new 4K restoration of the director's cut, the theatrical cut. That is awesome. I love releases that give you that option of being able to see both versions of the films or multiple versions of the film. And fan bases have their preferences. So you have your option there. That's awesome. And you're going to get brand new commentary here on the director's cut. So in the director's cut, you get a brand new commentary. It looks like most of the features are on the director's cut disc one. Brand new interviews, including a brand new interview with actor Michael Jai White, which is cool. Brand new interview with the animatronic creature and special effects artists. A bunch of brand new interviews. So they actually brought back a number of people who were involved in this film to do new interviews, and that's great. So this appears to be a really nice edition coming out on 4K Ultra HD. It is the first release of the month. It's coming out October the 6th. It is Spawn on 4K Ultra HD. So if you're a fan of this film, you are getting served by Arrow Video with this release. I have never seen it before, but definitely want to hear in the comments what you think about this movie. But you are definitely getting what is probably going to be the definitive version on home video of this film for years to come. So this is Spawn. So that is exciting. on that. And then I believe the next title we have here, and the last title of the month, is a title that I already knew based upon people's guesses of the artwork that Arrow Video put out when they announced on Wednesday that they were announcing their October titles today. They put out this visual of some crosses, and people uh, surmised that that meant that it was In the Mouth of Madness, and they guessed correctly. This is a film from John Carpenter coming out on limited edition 4K. So that's exciting. And let's go ahead and click the Arrow Video link here. It's coming out on October 27th. So this is coming out toward the end of the month. So this is probably the title. My guess is that most people are going to be most excited about. This is the second title that I'm most interested in addition to Miss 45. I'm definitely interested in checking out In the Mouth of Madness, coming out on 4K Ultra HD. It appears to be one of those chunky boxes, just based upon this picture here. So that is very exciting. You have here the Suitor Kane In the Mouth of Madness. You have the wonderful choice of art between the new art, the old art. That's great. And it says here, do you read Suitor Kane? He chilled our blood with the thing, brought us face to face with the devil himself and Prince of Darkness. Now, Master of Horror John Carpenter drives us out of our minds with In the Mouth of Madness, the final entry in his Apocalypse trilogy. Horror Arthur Suitor Kane is missing. As crowds turn violent, waiting for copies of his latest book, Kane's publishers enlist insurance investigator John Trent to find him. With Kane's editor, Linda Stiles, Trent sets off in search of the elusive Arthur and finds himself trapped in Hobbs End, a town that should only exist within the author's books. As fiction and reality blur, Trent begins to realize that between the lines, beyond the page, and somewhere out there in the dark, something evil is waiting to break through. So this stars Sam Neill of Jurassic Park fame, Julie Carmen from Fright Night Part 2, and Jürgen Prochnow from Das Boot. So you have a nice supporting cast that features Mr. Charlton Heston himself, David Warner, John Glover. So this looks like a really fascinating film. I've never seen In the Mouth of Madness. I've certainly heard of it. I've seen other films from John Carpenter that I'll show in a few minutes, but this looks like a very exciting release. I know a lot of people are stoked about this one. I'm looking forward to checking it out for the first time. It'll be a new discovery for me. This is getting a brand new 4K restoration from the original 35 millimeter negative by Arrow Films. You're getting Dolby Vision on this 4K. You're getting the choice of 5.1 and stereo 2.0 audio options. Love that. You're getting a couple of archival commentaries, as well as a brand new audio commentary by a couple of filmmakers who are co-hosts of the Colors of the Dark podcast, a newly filmed interview, which is great, an archival interview with actress Julie Carmen. Let's see. We Are What He Writes, which is a new featurette in praise of John Carpenter and In the Mouth of Madness, a new appreciation by film scholar Alexandra Heller Nicholas, and then other archival features, double-sided fold-out poster, perfect bound collector's book, reversible sleeve, all that good stuff coming our way at the end of the month on October the 27th, 2025, available for pre-order, 30 pounds. So folks, this is the one that I am definitely planning to pick up in the month of October, along with Miss 45, In the Mouth of Madness. Definitely want to know in the comments what you all think of that title. You know, I have not seen In the Mouth of Madness, but I have seen other films from John Carpenter, including, of course, Halloween. You know, The Night He Came Home, his all-time classic film that he not only directed, but he also did the music for this film, which is incredible. He did The Fog, Jamie Lee Curtis. Love that film. Got that 4K, got the 4K of The Thing. Kurt Russell, really enjoyed that. And of course, Christine, I have that, I believe, on Blu-ray. Or do I have it on 4K? I'll have to double check that. But I haven't, in any event, I haven't watched my copy of it, but I have seen Christine in the past. But those are the four films of John Carpenter that I have seen. But I have not seen this particular film right here. So I'm looking forward to checking out In the Mouth of Madness. So let me know um, what y'all think of of that. Let's see. Steve says the sadness is great. Got the German digibook a few years ago, but if you like Train to Busan, this will appeal. Okay. However, we have a rebuttal to that. Dell says this gotta disagree. Both are gory, but the sadness also goes out of its way to be disturbing and shocking. Goes out of its way to be disturbing and shocking. Okay, interesting. So it's a little bit more of a shock value that they're going for there with that film. Okay. Three Extremes. I've been waiting for this to be upgraded from DVD. One of the three directors is Park Chan-wook of Old Boy fame. Okay. Thanks for showing it. I'm going to go order it after your live chat. Okay. Spawn is fun but bad. Being a superhero guy, I'll probably get it anyway. Yeah, I'm almost 99% skipping Spawn. It's never been something that's spoken to me, and Dell, you've already said it's bad, so I'm probably gonna skip that one and just save my coins for In the Mouth of Madness and Miss 45. Let's see here. Really bad movie, I thought. In the Mouth of Madness is great. Glad to hear it. In the Mouth of Madness is a lot of fun. Love that. Love that. Don't forget Big Trouble in Little China, says Stevie Dan. Okay. Oh, what oh, I have not seen Big Trouble in Little China. I've not seen that one. Um, so I'll have to check that one out. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen that I need to get caught up on. We have another super chat here. Gungshi, In the Mouth of Madness is terrific, James. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay. I'm getting a lot of love for In the Mouth of Madness, and thank you. Thank you very much for your super chat. Definitely appreciate that, Gungshi, and hope you're doing well. But yeah, so, folks, we have a very interesting slate for the month of October from Arrow Video. We have like two titles that are coming out in the UK only, with Sadness and Return of the Living Dead. Those are UK titles, both coming out on 4K Ultra HD. Then we have Miss 45 and coming out in the US and Canada, coming out on 4K and Blu-ray. And then you have Spawn coming out on 4K and Blu-ray in the US, Canada, and the UK. And then you have Trick or Treat Steelbook coming out in the US, Canada, and the UK, as well as In the Mouth of Madness. And The Three Extremes is the only Blu-ray only title, and it's also coming out in the US, UK, and Canada. So a wide slate of releases, is one of those things where everything is not for everybody, but there's enough quality in here that even though I'm not the biggest horror fan in the world, there are a couple of titles that I am highly interested in that Miss 45 and In the Mouth of Madness. So definitely looking forward to that. So let's see what Dell is saying here. I saw In the Mouth of Madness for the first time recently. Certainly an interesting film. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. But yeah, let me know in the comments section below if you happen to catch this stream on a replay. Let me know what you think about these titles coming out from Arrow Video. Another strong slate from Arrow Video for the month of October as we get ready to close out the year. We've only got two more release months announcements for both Criterion and Arrow. So very much looking forward to hearing what they're going to be releasing as we round out the year. But so far, it's been a strong year of releases from a lot of these boutique labels. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Whatever you're doing, hope you be safe and continue to enjoy the summer. And let us know in the comments what you're watching, whether you're watching something in theaters. Are you checking out Superman? Are you checking out Fantastic Four, First Steps? I think my son is actually getting ready to go, even as we speak, with his friends to friends to see that. I've heard good things about it. So let me know in the comments if you're watching that film or another film in the theaters, or you're kicking back like me and watching a couple of titles in your collection. Let me know what your plans are in the comments section below. I'll catch a couple more comments here. We have, thanks for the live stream, James. Thank you for joining Gung Shi. We have Steve here saying, great stream. Thank you. Thank you, Stevie. Really do appreciate you all joining. Hope you have a great weekend. Whatever it is you get into, just be safe. And we'll be talking to you soon. God bless you. Peace.